So what this is a relic guitar in progress. Thought it'd be interesting to show it before it was done. And this is a 2014 Gibson Melody Maker. You can kind of see some of the wear patterns that I worked into the body here. And when you're going to do a relic like this, of course you're going to strip everything off it. All the hardware is sitting in bags, kind of divided up into plastic parts, metal parts, and you kind of want to distress those on their own. Pretty much finished up with the body here. I've gone through many different grit of sandpaper, working all the way up to 5,000 grit at the end, and then buffing it out with some different compounds to finish up. And some other things you may want if you're embarking on something like this is some kind of graphite or some kind of concoction like I made here. Because once you get down to bare wood in places, you don't want it to just look like clean wood. You want the wood to look kind of dirty, to kind of have gone through years of sweat stain and dirt. So you want to rub graphite, coffee, tobacco, whatever you can come up with, shoe polish, to kind of dirty up some of these areas, so it looks like there's some dirt worked into the wood. And just kind of go around, and here's the headstock kind of beat up. The way I do it is I first make my big marks using different implements, tools, keys, what have you, to kind of make your biggest marks first, and then start working your way smaller and smaller by making finer little marks, let's say around the edges, and then eventually starting to just sand it all down so it's got more of a kind of just nice overall worn look, and just sand through those grits until it becomes a nice, smooth, polished piece of wood. And as far as hardware, I'm not going to mess too much with tuners, because if you put those into some kind of a machine to try and mark them up, it's going to screw up your tuners. So I'll do this by hand later using what you call etchant solution, and just very carefully not let it get inside the tuner's works, but kind of wear those down with some solution. Everything else, if I take it over here, some of the larger pieces of hardware, this is basically kind of like a rock polishing unit. You can get them at places like Harbor Freight for 50-60 bucks. And when I put the top on that, it's basically going to shake all those parts up with rocks. And I'll do that for 30-60 minutes, something like that. And it will inflict a lot of wear on those metal parts. And once you've got some of that outer layer of metal worn down, then you might take something like etchant solution or something else to kind of change the color of the metal and kind of really make them look worn and old. Anyway, that's some of the stuff I go through with the relic, and I'll be sure and post this guitar once it's all finished so you guys can see what it looks like.